So these are all the basic properties and how to deal with them. Now some image related, some advanced, advanced image properties, attributes. So we have some advanced image attributes. We will see some advanced image attributes. How do we deal with them? How do we work with them? Right. Technically, what are the basic advanced attributes? So let's take a look. Right. Advanced attributes for images, which we cannot immediately try, but they are to be discussed a few things about them because we have to use them with server side integration and combination with other technologies actually means in various scenarios we use them and that will not fit every time, but we should know them actually when we are dealing with images, how to use source titles and all discussed, but images have some more attributes like image have an attribute so called in the image attribute we have an option called CORS. Cross origin is an attribute. Cross origin is one important image attribute. Cross origin is actually cross origin. The concept of cross origin is nothing but generally what happens is when we are working in projects, generally we have a development server. So, and we have some production here. So that means we have different servers actually. So we have some development server and we have some servers like, so we have a development server, we have some production server, quality server. Actually, so when we are working, we generally get the repository from Sandbox server. So we have the repository in Sandbox server actually, means all the files are present here. So now this server is running on one port number, some IP address, and some port number 8080. Now here we are working on some other IP address and some port number, some different port number. Now, if files are present in the same server and you are accessing the file from the same location, we don't have a problem. But when files are present in a different location, if it is present in a different server, if file is present in a different server and you are accessing in another server, now this development server may block this file coming from other source. So because it is cross origin, it is coming from some other server location. Then generally if anything coming from some other location, they may have some threat. That means they may not be trusted resources. Due to that, what happens is server have a our computer servers have a firewall. With that, they will block this file. That file will not come here. They are going to block the files. So that means across origin, data will not come. Then we have to tell the server that, so you can allow in two occasions. So either allow from all origins, allow from all origins, or allow based on credentials. That means if user ID passwords are correctly matching, then for them only allow that file. Don't allow for others. So that restriction you can define by using this course. And a course uses two options, like course can use anonymous. Anonymous indicates that it is allowed for all. So, and it uses user use credentials. Use credentials indicates that only the person who providing proper user ID and password to access authorized person, for him only we will give this resource. That means now this image is not going to display for everyone. They have to pass the credentials. That means they have to use credentials. So then it can display that and show that image. But for that, actually, to use credentials, you need the resource in another server, some authentications, sort of things required. So if you don't define them, generally if you don't define them, then it will not work. So that is what actually concept. So you cannot try that now. We need server side integration. We need to just understand the point. That means it indicates that you can see it says that fetching image may be done using course or not. That is decided here. That means, so whether we can fetch from other location. Cross origin resource sharing. Course means actually. That means course actually it is cross origin. Cross origin. Origin. So resource sharing. Origin resource sharing. Cross origin resource sharing. Cross origin resource sharing. That is what actually course. Cross origin resource sharing. So origin, right? Yeah, course origin. Actually, so it indicates the accessibility across origin. So that means whether whether it is accessible across, whether it is accessible across servers or not. That is what actually origin. It uses two values. So one is it uses two values. One is anonymous. Anonymous means any user, and use credentials. That means only when the authentications and authorizations are passed. So that is one option. These you cannot test now. So that's the reason, just know about them, that is enough. So here I am writing the attribute in this way. Cross origin. Some SRC is some images slash shoe.jpg something. This is cross origin and the purpose of cross origin. This is one advanced attribute. Another important attribute is images have one more option called decoding. Images have decoding. Decoding can have three values: sync, async, and auto. That is decoding. This also we can learn only when we have some server side integrations and our projects are working on live. Why? Because decoding indicates methods like sync, What is meant by that? Decoding tells that how this image should load along with other content. That means, for example, so generally what happens is we have an image, and beside that image we have some paragraph. We have some paragraph. So beside the image we have some paragraph. Now both have to load. Now the situation is, so how to load image along with other content? How other content should load with image? There are three techniques. We can use synchronous technique, asynchronous technique, and we can keep auto. Synchronous means when image is loading, it will not load the paragraph. It will stop it. After image loaded, then paragraph will load. That is the point. Asynchronous means image will be loading, paragraph also will be loading. Auto means depending on the situation, network speed, depending on the size of the files and content, it will decide whether to load image or paragraph or whether to load both. It depends on the situation, it will decide. That you can keep auto also. But if you say sync, that means always first image will load, then the content will load. So that is what actually decoding. So decoding is an attribute. You can see decode the image synchronously. And async means decode the image asynchronously. Auto means it depends on the situation. Browser decides which is best for the user. So three options you can configure. That means decoding indicates decoding indicates it specifies how image have to load along with other contents. How image have to load along with other contents. That is decided. That is configured. And you can have three options. You can define three options. You can define values as we can define values as sync, async, async, and auto. These three values you can define. Actually, sync is nothing but it is synchronous. So it is synchronous, which will not allow to load other contents. So until image is loaded. Another one is async here, and it is asynchronous. It is asynchronous asynchronous and asynchronous means which will load image and contents simultaneously at the same time simultaneously at the same time. That's what they can do. And auto means actually browser decides which one is best for user. That is what actually decoding, and we can keep that in this way. This is decoding, so we can just keep that option in this way: sync or async or auto, and src some images show.jpg. That is how we can configure the options and define the options. Configuring and defining the options. So that specifies how the image have to load along with the other contents, actually, technically, how they have to load. So that is a decoding. So that is one approach. So how we are managing the contents, cross origin and decoding. That is the option. Next important here is we are with the images. Image have one more attribute. Image have one more option. Important option is we also have importance. importance. Importance can be set to high, low importance we can set. That means if there are several images, then browser can decide according to importance. Importance can set to high. Importance can set to low. If any importance is set high, that image will first load. Then if several images are set high, then browser will decide according to the size, according to the type, according to the location, which one is loaded first. But usually developers need to keep only the important image as high priority, such as company logos and all, they have high priority. We will not put multiple high. That is always confusion for robots and browsers. So even if you put all high, only one it will use, and according to situation it will decide now. So according to the size of image, situation, it will decide. So image importance, we can set it to low or high. So that is based on the priority, it will load. That means we can use importance. That it is actually, importance is actually, it sets priority for image, low or high. Then what happens is priority priority image will load first. That is the another option, importance. Generally we write attribute in this way. Importance is returned in this way. So importance is configured in this way. So image src is some images show.jpg. That is another attribute that we have. One more option here is we have importance, and we have source set, src set. We have src set. Src set is there. Src set, it can define multiple images, but src set will work with css. I will tell you. So multiple images, because the images will change according to of the browser. Generally, response. Suppose when you are watching on mobile, suitable image will come. That means image will be changing according to the device that is responsive. But for that we need CSS to configure. We need CSS to configure the source set. Then it will change. So source set indicates that you can display multiple images. SRC set. But it requires CSS. In CSS you will learn. That means it is a set of images to display with the responsive design. That means image will change according to device. That's important. This img src set is equal to pic1.jpg, comma pic2.jpg, like this we can define. But that is not enough. We need actually CSS also to configure so that it will load accordingly. So these are some important options for images. These are some important attributes for images. By using these options and attributes, we can manage the images in our applications. So basic attributes, yesterday I given them, and some advanced attributes which in future you will learn, you will use them in various occasions, are these, which you cannot trial here. We can just know about them, about the cross origin, about decoding of images, importance of images and source sets. That's how we configure and define the images, and image related properties, how you can do. Now you can keep images and you can display images so according to your requirement. For example, let's go to the last example we created. Suppose we created paragraphs, ordered list, some example we created here. So we are defining some paragraphs and options, details and summary, some examples we created. We designed one example. And important is that example that we have designed to show the contents and display the contents, picture related options here. In that we can keep the image and we can display the image. So font related options we learned. Suppose this is the font related options, and bold italic related options also we discussed. So this is the example we designed. Now in this example, we want that relative image also. So we want to display that image along with the content. We want to display the image in this example because in the shopping site we saw that. Now we can get an image, we can display an image, but we need to know how to organize the content and how to keep the content correctly side by side, and how do we display the contents. For example, suppose we will Google here, and I will go into the images, and here I will go as Redmi Note 9 Pro. So that is the image. That is the image we will take here. And yeah, and in this, suppose this is the image, and we will copy that image and we will try to keep that image there. So that is the image we are having. So yeah, so that is the image we are having. Save image as, so some mobile, okay. And you can see here its type is WebP file. You see latest images are using WebP files. So I told you that WebP files. So these WebP files, so this is the image type, and save image as, so all these are WebP files. So we will keep the normal images here, some normal image here. These are all, majority are will be WebP files. We will keep just a normal image here. Right. So that is the image. Let's copy that image, save image as. And all these are WebP images only. And in our project, yeah. And we cannot directly embed WebP files. That I will tell you later, right? How we can manage them. This is some ordinary image type. only we will take here. And that is all images. All are WebP files. We are not looking for WebP files, right? Yeah. Okay, let's take one option and we will put that image there. Save image as. Yeah, so this is mobile. And let's go to the C, and in our project, we will keep in images. So full stack, yeah. And in the images, we will keep that mobile. Fine. We need to display that image there and configure that image here. In this example, we need to keep. Now, how do we keep the contents? So generally, yesterday we learned about alignments. So we can keep the alignment side by side. But here a lot of contents are there. How you can manage it. Suppose I am keeping an image here. Source is equal to, in images, we have mobile.jpg. I'm adding that image there. And in the output, it is going to display in this way. And I defined the height is equal to some, so 300. So, and width is equal to some 200. So height and width adjusted for that image like this. And we want to keep the content beside it. So I'm just giving an option align. Align is equal to left. That means the content should display left. But it is going to display only this content towards the left. Suppose I am giving the height as 500 pixels, then it will display in this way. So if I am defining the width to 600 pixel and width to 300 pixel, then it is going to fit on this here. But the other contents width also need to be adjusted because actually our main container width is only 400 pixel. So it is 600 pixel container width. Then it will keep the content in this way. It will keep all the information in this way. We need to adjust the container. We need to adjust the container and we need to configure that container. So it is going to display according to the width that you have defined. It will adjust the content. Some 700 pixel width container, it will give like this. So that is keeping the images aligned with the content left, right. We can use a lot of columns. We can use a lot of columns and options also. We can design them. So generally, mouse over animations, all these are CSS based. Presenting the contents and images along with the options, just like you have seen in the website, requires sometimes we need columns to arrange. Sometimes we need columns to arrange the content. So in CSS, we will learn columns, grids, how to keep them. Here, this is simple. This is simple. Just we have an image and we kept the image and displayed the image. Image, when we are displaying, a lot of options will come. We can put the images in the background, in the foreground. We can keep the images stretch, fit into the contents. Those all are responsive designs which you have to achieve by using CSS. So that is what generally we can do. So this is the same example. Only one simple extra extension we have done is this time we are having an image, and with the image we are presenting the content. Content already we designed in last session. Just one extra image we added. And you don't need to worry about the placement side by side because already we learned about alignment left, alignment right. So depending on the requirement, you can keep left or right alignment. That will be easy. Later, when you learn columns, CSS, you can have some more options to handle, right? So this is one simple example how we can design, how we can configure the images and use the images. So with CSS, we will also learn about how to make the images fluid in experience, right? Responsive in experience. But how to display image and how do we set the attributes for the images, that all depends on what you have seen till now. This is all how we can keep the images and configure the images. Generally, many times you will see in websites card-like appearance, like you see, suppose Amazon. When you look at Amazon, you can see that. So you have this type of boxes. In that, images are kept here. These type of things also we can design. Just here, additionally, what is the point is these type of options we can design. So